let's talk about how to promote a mobile app. And by the way, I'm like a mobile app marketing pro. Right now, if you search, if you're on Android, right now, at least right now, at the moment of this taping, which is March of 2014, if you search for the word business on Android, my app is #1. Not only that, four apps are in the top 10 for that search. So I am pretty good at app store marketing, and in this video I'm going to make you a pro, okay? First of all, it's very competitive, and every day it's more competitive. There's just more apps, okay? So it's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy for me. And the #1 way most apps are discovered is by App Store search, and that's called ASO. Same as SEO, search engine optimization, but here we have ASO, App Store search optimization, right? And in the App Store, it pretty much is actually really simplified search, because really all the iOS or Android, all they have to go by is your title, your description, and in case of iPhone, iPad apps, there are some keywords that you can add. And what you want to do is make keyword heavy title and description, because by doing that you tell the mobile app stores what kind of stuff you want to rank for. And then once you rank for those things, you probably are not going to be #1. The way to jump up in the rankings is to do something like increase your social signals, social and engagement signals. Engagement signals are like, well, how many downloads do you have, right? How many times are people opening the app? Like, how long are people spending on the app, right? They actually, the app stores don't specifically tell you that they use these and how much they use this in their search algorithms, but from my experimentation, I find that they actually have used those metrics. Because once I started increasing time spent on the app and number of times people open the app, I noticed my app rankings were going up. So there's things like that. So and this is a big topic, because there's stuff like keyword research is monumentally important, right? Because if you get the wrong keywords, then everything else is off, right? So keyword research, title, description, and then you want to increase your these signals, right? Positive reviews, things like that. Time spent on the app, all those things, they are taken into account when you rank. So that is the #1 single biggest thing you should be doing, and getting it right. Also, your App Store listing should be perfect. You should have beautiful images of the app. You should have of course, great description, title, and the description, title, they're not just for algorithms. They're for people too. So you should write them to be compelling for people, and sprinkle in your keywords, right? So it's both. So the title description is both for people and for the search algorithm. So make sure that it's optimized for both, because the title description is going to be the thing that's going to convince the people to download your app. And of course, you want to have a very nice app icon. If you can use bright colors in your app icon, it's better, because the app icon will stand out. But also you want to just make sure that it's not just bright colors, it will be good looking and professional looking. The next is I like to get press coverage for my apps. It is not easy. I have a whole video tutorial on how to get press coverage, so I'm going to quickly skip that because there's a video on that separately. Then, of course, you want to leverage social media. Now, social media, you want to get large exposure, right? So doing something like Twitter and Facebook is very limited, right? Because most people, they do Twitter and Facebook, that's their first idea of how to promote. But really, you want to leverage large volume accounts, things like that, or figure out how to do it, because social media, not people just see it, but few people click and few people download. So you really need volume with social media and targeting as well. Then one of the very interesting things that I like to do is social sharing, but inside the app. Okay, and it's really cool because you can build features that are better if users use them with friends. For example, I'll give you an example. So I created this business plan apps, and of course some people have business partners, right, or associates, or people who give them advice. So I allow people to invite friends or business partners to edit the business plan together. And so, of course, it's better for them, right? Because then, from their devices, they can edit the business plan, and one person invites a friend into it. So for me, it's basically like, invite a friend, right? And so that increased my downloads. And know that a business app like mine is not a very social app anyway, right? So it actually, other apps are far more social, have far more potential for this. So think about how to get people who are already using the apps to invite some friends into the app to make, and together the app becomes better. Think about games. Think about how many like turn-based games are way more fun to play if it's not just against the computer but against friends, right? Like, think about Words with Friends, right? Something like that. Because that's how you go viral, is because you get one person who loves the app, they invite one person, another person, and then one person generated for you like a bunch of downloads, and then those guys like the app and they invite their friends. So it's like one person can generate eventually like hundreds and maybe who knows how many downloads, right? So this is a great way. If you can build some social habits, some social kind of activity like that inside your app, it's great. Of course, you want to also promote your app on the web, right? Because web is gigantic and you want to promote it, especially from your website. So you need to put up a website and do some like basic promotion like SEO, stuff like that. It's long term, but at the same time, it's not, it is something you should be doing. A lot of my users end up telling me that they found my apps on the web, from my website, right? So, because there's a whole bunch of ways you can funnel people to your website. So, it's a really good, viable thing to do. Of course, if you get good partners, you can cross-promote with them, but that's not a common strategy, and it's not popular, because it's always like one person drives more than the other, so it's like a little tricky. Of course, you can pay for ads, which you need a really strong business model for your app if you want to pay for ads, because the ads tend to be a little pricey per download. So you want to make sure that you can earn enough money back if you're advertising. Then, of course, if you have an email list or you are able to grow an email list, you certainly want to be growing your email list, because that tends to be a very loyal audience and they will engage over and over and over and over. So don't forget building an email list. Of course, for another way to promote your apps is you want to present at events. The reason for that is good is because not only can you generate downloads from precisely that event, but also there may be like bloggers or journalists at that event, then they might want to cover your app. So it's actually a really great way to get extra coverage, potentially. Of course, you want to create large sort of media channels for yourself. Like in my case, I created the YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel, like by now it sort of gets between 600 and 1,000 people a day watching, and it's growing, right? So it's a lot of work, but it's kind of like I'm getting my own press coverage, right? It's because it's like every day I'm getting this extra 600 to 1,000 people. So, it's like I'm getting medium-sized press every day, which is really great, right? So you want to establish something like that for yourself. Because that's social media, but it's kind of a really cool thing to do about social media. It's not like Twitter, Facebook, right? This is really cool and effective, and it actually gets large volume every day. I don't have to be out there like waving a sign like, "Hey guys, go to my website or app or whatever." People just come and watch, right? So it's really good inbound marketing with YouTube, and you can even if you have YouTube, you can take the audio from that and often make a podcast. So you're like on multiple channels, right? So right away you're on iTunes with your podcast. And of course, the really good, tricky, I don't know if it's tricky, but it's like people don't really talk about it. But you want to do SEO for not your website also, but for the URL, the web URL of your app. Because that web URL is on an authoritative domain, it's far more likely to rank in Google searches for relevant apps than your actual website. And so you want to also build links and social media mentions into your app URL, because you want that thing to rank. So that's pretty much how you promote your app. You know, I also have a Udemy course to like a full course on how to build, monetize, and promote your app. And it goes into far more depth. But this is pretty much, you know, these things. If you do them right, it should get you a ton of downloads. They did for me. So I hope it helps.